hell should I do now? This is fucking pointless. It's no use.
When the first trailers of Death Stranding came out, it was a little confusing.
So the enemies in the game are gonna be invisible? Oh shit, that's gonna. I don't know.
May contain content inappropriate for children.
Okay.
Yep. Hello.
The trailers didn't tell us much of anything, and they were cryptic as hell. Pretty much immediately, people started creating all sorts of wacky theories because no one had any clue what this game was going to be about. But now that I've played it, I can attempt to clue you in on my hot take on this game in the form of a review.
Once there was an explosion. A bang which gave birth to time and space. Once there was an explosion. A bang which set a planet spinning in that space. Once there was an explosion. A bang which gave rise to life as we know it. And then came the next explosion.
The world finds itself in the middle of a catastrophe. The souls of those who die are unable to move onto the afterlife, an event known as the Death Stranding. The trapped souls, known across the land as BTs, are hostile towards the living. They inhabit countless locations, making them impossible to settle, thanks to the presence of BTs and the time-manipulating weather caused by their presence. But humanity, being tenacious as always, has managed to adapt, constructing hub cities and attempting to recreate long-lost logistic networks just to survive and keep in contact with each other. The game takes place in the remnants of a destroyed America, no longer united by its once glorious states, but held together by the last surviving cities, the United Cities of America, or the UCA. You take the role of Sam Porter, a delivery man delivering anything and everything all over the UCA. Food, medicine, people. Pretty sure I even delivered sex toys once. At the very beginning of the game, after experiencing your very first delivery, Sam makes a promise to a dying family member to reunite the UCA by expanding the chiral network.
Well, have you had a chance to think it over? Chock full of chiralium, but safe for you Dooms guys to wear. That's all you'll need to go forth and reconnect the world. To make us whole again.
I'm a porter. I don't care about connecting anything. Or making knots. But I'll do what I have to help Amelie out.
A network made with the intention to connect all the cities in the UCA and to allow its people to share information at an extremely fast speed. With this promise made, we're sent on our way to make the plot unravel in all of its convoluted glory. On your journey across the UCA, you can expect to bump into all kinds of interesting characters portrayed by real-life actors. We've got people such as Deadman.
I'm a doctor. Well, a coroner, originally. Me, Deadman. I'm well acquainted with the dead. Not like you, of course. Contrary to the name, I've never actually died.
A doctor who helps Sam all throughout the game, despite his constant violations of your personal space. Then we got the love of my life, Fragile.
My name is Fragile.
She's a bit weird, but the hottest thing I've ever seen. She's fragile, but not that fragile, if you know what I mean. My favorite by far was Die Hardman with his cool as fuck skeleton mask and voice to go along with it.
That's the president's right-hand man. The director of bridges.
Die Hardman?
Oh, you were with Bridges One? So, I guess no introductions are necessary.
What's it been, Sam? 10 years? Look at us. A bunch of deathless freaks meeting like this. Yeah, well, good to see you two. President's waiting.
We also have Amelie, the president of the UCA, and Sam's mother.
This is the face of our new hope. Our new America.
Homily.
My mother may be gone, but I'm here. And you, Sam? You're here too.
The main baddie is called Higgs with his badass golden mask.
I had a special surprise prepped and everything. But it looks to me like your hands are full. No biggie. We can always tweak the rules a bit.
This naughty boy can summon multiple BTs, teleport, and summon weapons out of thin air.
You ready, Sam? It's coming.
Woo! He looks hungry. All you gotta do to make it out alive is not get eaten. Sound like fun? Of course it does.
If that isn't enough, he's the leader of a terrorist group that calls themselves the Homo Demons. The world you'll travel is scarred and beautiful at the same time. The only remaining towns of old are nothing more but ruins infested with BTs, and the only inhabited places are scarce outposts and towns known as not cities. Most of the scattered outposts are inhabited by your usual loners or preppers, who are friendly enough, but there are always a few out there which are a host to an annoyance, mule camps.
Heads up, Sam. Your cargo's been pinged. Move. Now, before someone has eyes on you. Get to your destination ASAP if you don't want to get caught.
These mules are cargo addicts seeking to snort the shit out of all your precious cargo, patrolling the area around our camps, scanning the land, trying to sniff out that egg roll you're delivering all the way to the east coast, just so they can beat the shit out of you and sort in their dank-ass gym lockers. By now you might have picked up that the main thing you're going to be doing in this game is making deliveries. You end up delivering all kinds of random shit. You name it and I've delivered it. A box of boxes? Check. A corpse? Check. Mail order brides? You got it. How about an antimatter bomb? Several times, actually. Wasn't great either. One wrong move and it's detonation time. You gotta remember, this ain't your typical FedEx delivery. Delivering packages across the UCA can actually be tough, since these deliveries will take you through BT or mule territory, sometimes even both. Not to mention the environmental hazards, the mountains, ravines. Rivers. Fucked up weather, and you gotta navigate all that shit with over 200 kilos of gear while taking into account some delivery person mechanics. When you have too much cargo on you, creating a leaning tower of pizza, literal pizza, I've done it in this game, shut up, you will start to lose balance and fall over. You can easily rebalance yourself with a couple of button combos, but if you're not fast enough, say when you're running down a hill at Mach 1, you will end up tripping on a rogue rock and you will eat shit on the ground and you will damage your cargo. Even when crossing a river, you gotta pay attention. When in a river, your stamina decreases bit by bit, and when it reaches 0, you lose balance, fall into the water, and turn into an inflatable raft, which then sends all of your cargo floating away like a sad paper boat. But in the end, it's worth it, because upon completing your delivery, you get a nice little delivery summary screen, where you can see how well you did, how many likes you got, the route you traveled drawn out on the map, the distance of said route, and how fucked up your cargo is by the end of all the bullshit you had to go through. This game's got an obsession with likes and liking things. You've got characters giving you thumbs up in cutscenes, absolutely decimating the fourth wall.
Activating lab security measures.
You've got NPCs giving you likes on your travels.
This one's for you.
Then you've got yourself giving likes to NPCs and so on. But really, likes are just experience. They can't really be used to buy anything, and instead they go towards your porter grade. Which is how good of a porter you are. And your level, basically. Your porter grade doesn't really contribute anything to the story, since I'm really sure that NPCs don't care if you're just a porter or an expert mover with a power level over 9,000. When you find yourself between deliveries and story missions, you'll most likely be spending time in your very own private room.
Sam, this is Di Hartman. There's a private room set aside for your use. Bridges perk.
Where you can do all the things a teenage boy should be doing, taking showers and dropping dookies. But this is where they decided to add the classic Kojima layer of weird and kind of uncomfortable. The game's obsession with bodily fluids. You can weaponize all of the excretions Sam could possibly produce. Take a shower, make grenades, or maybe even take a shit if you feel like going for the nuclear option. You see, my friends, the PTs don't really like Sam or his excretions, so as soon as they so much get a whiff of his juicy self, they go all like, that's a musky husky, and start disintegrating. Anyway, you can also check on your BB in here, poke him, and do some weird faces at him.
Oh.
Play with your army men. Or down a couple Monster energy drinks. I gotta say though, throughout the game, you also acquire quite the army man collection that could put any sandbox warlord to shame. You can also customize your backpack with all kinds of dank-ass attachments like an extra battery, a grenade pouch, or a fucking windmill. And if you want to scare people, you can color your own hat and weird-ass shades in the most disgusting of colors. But after a long day's work, we all know that nothing is better than rigging up Fragile and having her jump from private room to private room with you, if you know what I mean.
Ready to take the plunge? So, the only things you can bring with you is yourself. And maybe a few of the trinkets that are really important to you. Okay, close your eyes. Picture your destination. Hold it in your mind.
After all that jumping from private room to private room with Fragile, walking can be a little problematic, so you might need a bit of walking assistance. Daddy Kojima has hooked us up with some swanky shit. Exoskeleton, boys. There are 3 kinds you get to choose from. Here you have the power skeleton, which just lets you deadlift almost as much as I can, the speed skeleton, which as the name implies, makes you run faster, and the all-terrain skeleton, which makes it easier to walk over fucked up terrain, and I like to think that it makes me run faster too, though I'm not really sure about that. A little off topic, do you guys have a favorite pair of boots? I know I do. That's why I can appreciate when a game gives me fucking boot mechanics, and what a weird mechanic it is. Your boots got durability. They can slowly wear out, fucking up your feet in the process, making you bleed to death. Thankfully, you can carry 2 whole pairs on you. But personally, I just kind of feel like this was a needless addition to the game, since I only have to switch boots around 3 times in my playthrough, and that's going to be even less so if you use vehicles a lot. Yes, you heard me right. My boy Kojima made sure we got some sick wheels in this game. Unfortunately, there aren't really that many. There's the regular reverse trike, the long-range reverse trike, and the truck. The reverse trike is kind of a motorcycle that you can put a bit of cargo on. The long-range version just has juicy batteries instead of cargo space for those long journeys. And the truck is an extendo truck to get you over those deep-ass rivers. If your battery doesn't die halfway through, ending up with you having to jump out into the deep end of the rapids only to lose all of your cargo, the truck has got a lot more storage space though. 12 bodies worth. Don't ask how I know. Now you gotta take into account that all of those pesky vehicles have batteries, which can be recharged at a generator, if you're lucky enough to find a generator out in the wastes of the UCA. But good news, at least the batteries don't drain while on a power rest, such as in a city or near an outpost, even on highways where you can finally go full speed, with no worries about obstacles or battery life. But you know, once the fun is over and you end up off-road, batteries will once again start draining, and God help you if you end up crossing a wide river, because batteries drain faster when in rivers, leading to the situation I mentioned earlier. Fun, but not at the same time. Gotta be real with you, here your main enemy in this game will be terrain. It'll fuck up your vehicle and get you stuck on a rock, and then you gotta go on foot and fight the land using some unconventional methods. You can put down ladders to cross rivers, or climb up a steep cliff, and when you get up that cliff you can place a climbing anchor to climb back down. Honestly, I only ever use these methods like 2 times, since usually you can just find a way around that's safer. Even if there isn't a safer / faster way, you can jump mash up a mountain or just faceplant down once you get to where you're going. Kinda disappointing, really. You can also battle the endless terrain by building things like bridges and zip lines. There's also some other helpful structures like watchtowers, generators, post boxes, timefall shelters, and safe houses, but most of these are absolutely fucking useless for the average playthrough. You'll just end up using generators to recharge your vehicle, and bridges if you can't seem to find a way over a ravine, because unless you are playing in offline mode, everything you'll ever need has already been built by other players for you. Now don't get me wrong, this is not a multiplayer game, it's a single player game, but you can still see and use structures that other players have put down. The only catch being that the region needs to be connected to the chiral network in order to see people's structures. If you don't like this, you can always play offline. Wait, what's that I hear you saying? You can build a shelter for timefall? What's timefall? It's the weather, dumbass. The weather is dangerous. You got 2 types of weather to worry about. Timefall and snowfall. Snowfall? Snow time? Time snow? Snow, but like from time. You get the idea. Timefall is basically like rain, but unlike regular rain, timefall greatly accelerates the passage of time of anything it touches. Cargo containers, grass, unprotected skin, whatever. But thankfully it can be avoided like regular rain. Just bring an umbrella, wear a hood, hide under a roof, stuff like that. And the snow version of timefall is just that, a snow version of timefall. Here's a crazy thought. What if you could shoot the weather? Well, you'll be surprised to find out that in this game, you can't. But you might as well be able to with some of the ridiculously out of place weapons in this game. One of the first ones you're gonna get is the bowler gun, which fires a flying shoelace that wraps around enemies and ties them down, and then you can go curb stomp the poor bastard until they hand their cargo. We also got all kinds of weird shit like grenades filled with your own blood, bullets coated with your blood, poop and pee grenades, stank ass shower nades, and everyone is just okay with sucking you dry of every fluid except the one that matters. At least we got fragile for that. One of the sillier and kind of out of place weapons is the quadruple rocket launcher, which I really did not expect to find in this game. It is what it is though, a rocket launcher that can be loaded with rockets, or rockets coated with your blood, obviously. But the quadruple rocket launcher is a little situational, so I found myself using the assault rifle a lot, since it just kind of fits every scenario. PT spots you, shoot some blood coated bullets at it. Mules annoying you, and just put some lead in those fuckers. Now I shouldn't really be the one to have to tell you this, but you really shouldn't kill people, because when someone dies, they die. And when they die, they slowly turn into a BT, and we don't want that, do we? But I gotta be real, the power creep kinda got to my head, and towards the end of the game I started carelessly shooting every mule and whatnot, since I expected to not go back there ever, and boy was I wrong. If you do kill someone, you better know where the nearest incinerator is, so you can burn their corpse, or you'll end up in BT City. I've been mentioning BTs a lot, but not really what they do or what they are. Imagine a spooky ghost, now make the GUI and texture it with TV static. That's your BT right there. Now the scary part, when you get spotted by BT, it'll go after you with its grabby bits, and if it catches you, you'll be dragged in a black gooey shit and molested by a bunch of dead people like that guy in The Mummy. If you can't manage to escape, it'll drag you God knows where, and a big ass nasty BT will come to kick your ass. And this will happen whenever you get caught by BT, so you gotta be careful. Not to worry too much though, because all of the BTs can get killed, including the big boss BTs. All you gotta do is douse them in all that weird bodily fluid shit you've got lying around. Though if you don't want to participate in all the whole body fluid nonsense, you can just kinda go away and the BTs will forget about you. To counter the BTs, bridge babies or BBs were developed. They help regular humans detect and see BTs, making it easier to avoid them. Some people in the world of Death Stranding also have dooms.
Allergy. So, you have dooms, like me.
I've got the extinction factor, but I think you got me beat.
What's your level? You can see them, right?
No, but I can sense them.
Level 2, then.
What are you doing here?
Dooms were spread to humanity by Amelie, who was the current president of America. It has at least 7 levels, with the 7th allowing people to control and summon BTs. People with lower levels on Dooms can only sense BTs. Some people afflicted with Dooms can also teleport around. Very handy for making deliveries, I must say. The soundtrack in this game is amazing. But it's such a shame that it only plays like 5 times throughout the game. I'm really not sure why they did this since the soundtrack is so good, but it is one of the dumbest decisions ever. Like, at least give us a music player so we can play the soundtrack when we want to, but they really fucked up on that one. Another issue was the crashes.
Keep your voice down. You don't want to scare the poor girl away, do you? She's in there. I can smell her. Of course, I would have known for sure if it wasn't for you and your wonderful network.
But Higgs had been on to me from the start. He caught me red-handed outside the gates, Nuke still cradled in my arms like a child.
The game hard crashed on me 2 times during cutscenes, which means that I had to redo entire sections of the game that took like 10 to 20 minutes to do, because the save system isn't really the greatest. What they could have done at least was save the game when a cutscene started, or maybe fix the fucking crashes in the first place. Anyways, let's talk about the ending. As always, I'll put a timestamp up to the final score if you don't want spoilers. Did I like the ending? Yeah, I guess I kinda did. Though I need to clarify which ending we are talking about. In the first ending, you're on Amelie's beach. The beach is pretty much a place between the living world and what comes next. Turns out, her soul was trapped on the beach, but her body remained on Earth. Here she tells you that she is an extinction entity destined to cause the 6th big extinction.
Come on.
Once the last Stranding starts, it can't be stopped. I can't go with you. All I can do is try to spare you the worst.
Why do you have to stay on the beach?
Sam, I am the beach.
Here we also kill Higgs, and one of the best boss fights ever.
What are you gonna do to her?
What I'm supposed to do? Keep the extinction entity safe until the slate is wiped clean. There's no stopping the 6th extinction. No matter what you, me, or anybody else does, humanity has a few 100,000 years left, tops. Why don't we just cut to the chase? This place, this fucking beach. There's no repatriation here, no. One of us dies, that's it. He goes to the other side. It's nice, huh? Lucky loser gets to put an end to this rinse and repeat bullshit once and for all. So, no BTs, no void outs, no bullshit. Just a good old-fashioned boss fight. Stick versus rope. Gun versus strand. One more ending before the end. One last game over.
It has 3 stages, each getting better and better. First, it starts off with you fucking him up, with a bit of string while he shoots you with an assault rifle. Very fair fight, I must admit. After that, you have to get handsy with him.
I don't need the gun, Sam. I can beat you. I can beat you.
When he whips out his AliExpress keramic knife and tries to kill you. You, of course, fuck him up. The third and final stage makes you fight Higgs one-on-one with hands, something very similar to the fight with Liquid Ocelot and Metal Gear Solid 4. Here you get to hit him a couple of times and dodge some of his hits, eat a bug or two too. What a weird sentence. After you fuck him up real good, you tie him up so Fragile can kill him.
There you go. As promised.
Thanks.
You talk to Amelie for a bit, and then you're on your own beach walking around, sitting down occasionally, and listening to what Amelie has to say while the credits silently roll. This ending was kinda meh for me. It wasn't the best, but at least the Higgs boss fight was cool as fuck. The second ending explains that Sam was originally meant to be a BB.
There you are. Welcome back.
You understand his days as a BB are over, now that his connection to the other side has been severed.
It was me who cut the cord. So yes.
A deathless repatriate in the world of the living. Should we decommission him?
In a manner of speaking. Take him out of the pod. I'll raise him as my own.
But it got killed and brought back by Amelie. I like this ending a lot since it explains how Sam was born and it tells us that Amelie raised Sam. Overall, great game, amazing soundtrack, and cool boss fights. I'd say that Death Stranding gets a solid 8 out of 10 from me. Very cool game, Kojima, but such a shame that they couldn't figure out how to play the soundtrack properly. Anyways, thank you all for watching. Consider subscribing, like the video if you liked it, dislike it if you didn't like it, and please consider supporting me on Patreon. I'll see you all next time. Bye bye. Special thanks to my whole 0 Patreon supporters. These mules are cargo addicts seeking to snort the shit out of all your purchased cargo. But if you're not fast enough, say when you're running down a hill at Mach 1, you'll end up tripping on what the fuck? Or maybe even take a shit if you feel like, man, what the fuck? There are 3 kinds. Who the fuck wrote this? One of the first ones you get are who wrote this? Or you'll end up in BT City. That one was good. Bodily fluid shit. Why do I do this? Why do I fucking... It starts off with you fucking it up. What the fuck? You have to get handsy with him when he whips. What the You of course fuck him up. Fuck him up. It's not that fucking hard, dumbass. Killed and brought by oh my god, why? I'm so close to the end. Killed and brought back by... Again! I did it again! Like the video if you... Why do I keep doing this shit? Like the video if you... I did it again!